From WXOW, this is La Crosse's own News 19 6 p.m. report.
Just 3 days ago, we were basking in temperatures in the mid-70s. Today, a reminder of springtime in Wisconsin. 5 inches of snow and ice, a treacherous commute to work, and hundreds without power. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Hackworth. The snow began falling Wednesday afternoon, followed by freezing rain overnight and into the morning. A number of local schools canceled classes today. La Crosse normally gets 1.7 inches of snow during the entire month of April, and we've already surpassed that monthly total with just this one storm. 6 inches registered at the La Crosse airport so far, but we still have a ways to go to approach what happened last April when La Crosse got 19 inches of snow during the month to set a new all-time record for April. This video sent to us by Aaron Holton, who said the skies over the north side of La Crosse turned dark around 7:30 this morning. He heard thunder rumbling and decided to start recording this video, and he hit record just in time to capture, wow, that impressive lightning strike. He recorded it outside Moxie's restaurant behind the American Hotel. More lightning strikes in several other areas early this morning and overnight. Here you can see a tree struck on Cerisa Drive in West Salem. Debris littered the area, nearly hitting some neighboring homes. Residents in that area were without power for some time. Evidence of the damage around the area today. Sean Holden sent us this photo of some bent power poles. He says this is along Highway 14 between Westby and Coon Valley. And Eric Martin took this photo in West Salem. He says it's on County B near a Quick Trip convenience store. You can see the fallen power lines weighted down by that fallen tree. All the lightning mixed with the other weather causing a number of problems for power companies. As you can imagine, outages steadily climb throughout the day. According to XL, there are around 65 outages right now. About 1,000 impacted customers, and you can always check for more outage updates throughout the night by going online. XL Energy in La Crosse, as they've been restoring power. The XL Energy website is the place to go.
Because there are a lot of lines down on the ground right now, and they should just wait till we get there to move them or call 911 so the fire department can come in and block the area off.
People affected by power outages in Vernon County have a place to go. The Red Cross has opened an emergency reception center a short time ago. It's at Viroqua's Church of Christ. They'll have obviously power, they'll have food, water, and more information as the crews work to get the lights back on. And the weather made travel treacherous today too. This was one of many reported accidents on area roads. This one just east of West Salem. A semi jackknifed half off the road, half in the left eastbound lane. Another company vehicle was also extensively damaged and being hauled away. The crash shut down the left lane for several hours, but it is back open now. Meanwhile, an ambulance rollover in Sauk County leaves 3 people hurt. The ambulance wasn't carrying any patients at the time. It happened on Highway 78 in the township of Prairie. The sheriff's office says the ambulance was going around a curve when it lost control on slushy roads and high winds. 3 crew members were taken to the hospital, but they are okay. Let's take a quick look now at the Wisconsin traffic cameras. The roads are still slippery tonight, but well, things are improving slowly. Officials asking drivers, however, to still slow down and stay alert behind the wheel to help avoid any more crashes. A break now for an update on our current weather conditions. Justin Esterly has our first forecast.
Yeah, still a lot of weather going on out there. We have all sorts of different types of precipitation between snow, rain, and sleet, and it's still coming through for the most part. Big systems still cutting across the upper Midwest, and it'll continue to do that throughout the evening hours tonight. We are expecting more precipitation, even though there was a bit of a dry patch right now. You can see that the Coulee region is between 2 different types of mixed precipitation and rain to the east, as well as some bands of rain setting up to the west. We're expecting more of that overnight. Temperatures warming enough to maybe be showers. Can't rule out a few mixed flurries in there as well. We'll have more details on this in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Justin. Of course, keeping tabs on the changing weather forecast tonight and the rest of the week, you can do so by downloading the free WXOW weather app for your weather updates. Wherever you are, it is free and available for both Apple and Android devices. And for up-to-date road conditions in Wisconsin, go online to 511wi.gov. They'll have live incident reports for all Wisconsin roadways, so you know where it is clear and where you should avoid. And if you're traveling in Minnesota, there's another website, 511mn.org. They'll also update their site consistently over the day, so drivers will have the most current information possible. In some non-weather related news, the La Crosse Center renovation is back up for another vote tonight in front of the whole city council. You're looking live at the council's meeting tonight. The new plans before the council were just approved on April 4th by the Finance and Personnel Committee, but they still need tonight's approval before the full council in order to move forward. We'll have the results of the vote tonight on our 10 p.m. report. An update now on the efforts to get used needles off the streets of La Crosse. In 2017, there were 2 Sharps disposables placed downtown. This spring, the La Crosse County Health Department plans to have 4 more. The Wisconsin Healthcare Readiness Coalition says calls to the fire department for needle pickup have decreased since the placement of those first 2 drop-off sites. Needles pose risks for obvious reasons. Punctures can cause bacteria and viral infections.
What's scary is to think, of all the Sharps containers that we're seeing with household use, where those were going previous to these boxes being put out here and people using them. Any loose needle is a dangerous needle no matter where it comes from.
And between 2017 and 2018, people dropped off more than 1,600 pounds of needles at disposal sites. So far this year, they've collected 200 additional pounds. A special report tonight on the effort locally to help domestic abuse victims or victims of other violent crimes reclaim their bodies. We're talking about forced tattooing or marking a person's body as a method of control, a practice that dates back to the times of slavery. News 19's Heather Armstrong introduces you to an Onalaska woman who is using high-tech machinery from her day job to help victims of these violent incidents get a fresh start.
Perfecting skin is all in a day's work for Stephanie Andreessen-Stevens, owner of Brilliant Body Works. And now she can add tattoo removal to her resume.
It's so important to remove it because when someone like myself chooses to go and get a tattoo, we spend time and dedication going in and designing it and telling our story. We're doing it of free will.
Others are not. Stephanie recently learned that many people are forced into getting a tattoo on their body. Human traffickers tag their workers. Gangs mark their members. And abusers scar their victims.
It's made to show ownership or alliance with a group, and oftentimes people feel forced into it, or it is very much forced upon them when they're in a delicate state or when they're just feeling very vulnerable in life.
That's why Stephanie started Restorative Inc., a nonprofit that removes the scars that are painful reminders of a previous life. Today, she's helping a woman named Tara erase the mark put on her body by an abusive ex-boyfriend. Stephanie says despite having a high-tech laser to do the job right, you never know what you're up against in these situations.
And it's really dependent on, was it professionally done? Was it done with traditional tattoo ink, or was there another medium kind of brought in, like graphite pencil can be used, candle soot, you name it, it's been tattooed into the body. How deep is the tattoo? So those are all things we have to take into consideration, and really until we do a treatment or two, we don't know fully what we're getting into.
Tara told me that it took about 3 hours to get this tattoo put on, but to take it off, it'll be about 6 to 12 sessions, and it feels like hot grease splattering all over the skin.
But according to Tara, the pain she's experiencing here is nothing compared to what she endured at the hands of her abuser.
The fear takes over you. You're afraid to talk to people, to even tell them what's going on. And you're just afraid that you're never going to get out of that situation.
Stephanie says she's found her calling, erasing painful memories for people looking for a second chance. So far, she's removed 24 tattoos for free.
So I think it's quite amazing from my perspective, and I think from our patient's perspective too, it's really giving you a second opportunity at a clean slate.
And now people in prison are even reaching out.
One letter I got, this gentleman's describing how he has 3 young children at home, that he wants to be a better role model for them. and how his ex-gang tattoos are going to prohibit him when he gets out from actually getting a reputable job and position. And unfortunately, he's absolutely right. I think people do look at tattoos and see it as kind of a negative thing in our society.
For Tara, the removal process has just begun. But already, with each painful stroke of the laser, a glimmer of hope.
It'll be amazing to not have that constant reminder of that time in my life where I went through some of the worst things that I could possibly imagine.
Tara says thanks to Stephanie and her effort to remove this painful reminder, she can now begin the process of shifting her mindset from victim to survivor.
He kind of took power away from me, and the things that he did to me, in the way that he just belittled me the way that he did. He broke me down, and Stephanie doing this for me is going to help build me back up again.
Now, Stephanie herself lives with a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a disease in which body parts can dislocate themselves. It's painful and unpredictable, but she credits help she received from Shriners Hospital throughout her life to increase her drive to give back. And if you or someone you know is in need of tattoo removal for many of the scenarios we talked about, you can call Brilliant Bodywork in Onalaska, the number there on your screen. Still ahead tonight, mark your calendars for another free shredding event in the area, a chance to safely dispose of those unwanted personal documents. Plus, the local 4-H plans a bowling fundraiser to help flood victims far away. Those stories coming up.
You're watching the News 19 6 p.m. report with Scott Hatworth, Heather Armstrong, Chief Meteorologist Dan Breeden, and Sports Director Scott Emmerich. The 6 p.m. report continues right now.
The La Crosse County 4-H is hosting a bowling benefit for Nebraska flood victims on Sunday, April 28th. The local group will open lanes for the community at Playmore Lanes. $10 a person, includes 2 games, shoes, food as well. 4-H staffers say the event ties together the national organization state to state.
It's a great way to tie us together with the character aspects that we want to enrich in our kids.
Specifically, the money raised will help Nebraska youth raise money to rebuild their FFA kitchen pizza oven after almost 4 feet of muddy water destroyed it. According to Emily, the pizza oven is the main fundraising method for the group in Nebraska and could cost up to $8,000 to repair. If you'd like to donate to the cause, the UW Extension office at the phone number on your screen. If you are looking to safely and securely dispose of personal documents, Harder's Quick Cleanup is offering another free shred day. Tomorrow and Saturday, the first 100 pounds of documents you need shredded will be free. Shred day runs from 8 a.m. through noon, both Friday and Saturday.
People can take one piece of paper and steal all your vital information and make life very miserable for you.
Harder's is located at 2850 Larson Street in La Crosse, and there is a charge for anything above 100 pounds. Well, speaking of making life miserable, the weather has been just about as bad as we can imagine, but improving trend, we'll say, is on the way. Justin Esterly's forecast is next.
Now, your Storm Tracker 19 weather.
Welcome back. The winter storm still making its way across the upper Midwest, and we still have a few warnings in effect through the evening tonight. Until about 7 p.m., we're going to see that winter storm warnings and the winter weather advisories expire. That's what they're sitting at right now. Again, a lot of the mixed precipitation with rain and a few of those flurries continuing through the night tonight and extending through 7 p.m. Wind gusts already exceeding 45 miles an hour in a lot of areas. But the main threat, again, is going to just be the reduced visibility and the slippery road conditions to go along with it. There's a wind advisory still in effect in the southern counties as well, and a few of those have already seen wind gusts above 50 miles an hour. That's going to expire tonight at 7 o'clock, and you're going to notice that that's when things are going to start to settle down just a little bit. But if we look at preliminary snowfall totals as we went through the past 24 hours, 10.5 inches in Osseo. Hatfield Dam had about 8.5, but here in La Crosse we saw about 7. The further south you went, the less snow we had because of the warmer air mixing in and keeping a lot of it rain. So you'll notice that some of those lower snow totals are in those drier and warmer areas, albeit they still had plenty of rainfall. Now, if we look on the radar right now, you're going to notice that we are in between and a little bit of a dry patch through the central part of the Coulee region. Some isolated showers are still building in northeastern Iowa, and a lot of that wintry mess is pushing off to the central part of the state, but we're expecting to see more of these showers line up and push through the area overnight tonight, adding to our liquid precipitation totals. But this massive storm, and you can see it's still centered just northeast of Omaha right now, or excuse me, northwest of Omaha right now, going to continue to push across the state, across Minnesota through the day tomorrow. That's going to bring a lot of this back end winter storm mess and these flurries here through the area, but ultimately going to keep us on the warmer side because of the warm front extending, bringing up that warmer air, going to push a lot of those through as showers and such. So we're going to continue to see that overnight tonight. Futurecast does a pretty good job of pinpointing where all of this is. The wintry mess off in the central part of the state, heavier snowfall off in northern Minnesota, and a few of those lines of showers pushing through overnight tonight. After those advisories expire, we're going to see that line of showers push through the Coulee region and ultimately have drier pockets of air move in after that. But as this continues to spin through the central part of Minnesota, we're going to see better chances for that mixed precipitation, snow and rain throughout the day on Friday off to the north. Not going to rule it out for much of the Coulee region though, because we could still see a lot of these back end return flow snow showers push through in the afternoon hours and late evening hours on Friday, clearing out for the most part though into Saturday, and a lot of the excess snowfall and rain going to continue to push off to the northeast. Now today temperatures stayed above freezing for the most part, but that didn't really help our snow chances much, as highs got around 37 for La Crosse. Still plenty of areas saw temperatures below freezing, which kept a lot of that mixed precipitation and snow a threat. Now right now we're sitting at 37 degrees, feels closer to about 28. Everybody dealing with some kind of wind chill factor because of how windy it was. Some of the gusts that we saw today in excess of 55 miles an hour in Decorah, 54 in Charles City. We had a few that were in the 40-mile-an-hour range, 46 here in La Crosse, and going to continue to be a threat overnight tonight as well. Last observation hour gave us 29-mile-an-hour wind gusts out of the east, southeast. Earlier today, we're going to continue to see the winds out of the east and actually transition over to more of a southerly flow as that warm front passes, but they're still going to be blowing pretty heavy through the day tomorrow. So they'll calm down just a tad overnight tonight. Still very windy, continuing with those scattered rain and snow chances. Might even see a little bit of thunder, as the convection is a possibility with this. But tomorrow we're going to get into the lower 40s. Still going to be breezy though, with those south-southwest winds up to 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Minor new accumulations expected though, as a lot of the moisture has already been pushed off to the northeast as this snowstorm continues to move across the Midwest. So dry day on Saturday, another chance for some late snow, rain on Sunday, getting back towards spring during the midweek, and more showers starting on Tuesday.
Thanks, Justin. Next in sports, the Packer players share their first impressions of their new head coach. Plus, the UWL Eagles take stock of a talented group of wide receivers. Scott Emmerich is in next.
Now, News 19 Sports.
Well, what an unusual week in Green Bay. The Packers moving on from some unflattering articles written about them to moving forward under a new head coach, Matt LaFleur. LaFleur finally able to get his hands on his team this week with the beginning of the offseason program on Monday. It was also the first time he addressed the team as a whole since he took the job in January. It's LaFleur's first head coaching gig, and establishing his way of doing things from the start is important.
Yeah, it's been great conversations. I mean, he's been in front of the room, getting himself comfortable to being the guy, and it's fun to watch him and support him.
Very good first impression. I like where this thing's headed. I like his mindset, how he has things mapped out for this offense, and it's going to be a lot of different ways to use guys, and I think everybody's pretty excited right now.
Meanwhile, Mark Murphy has been in the building with LaFleur since he was hired at the Packers tailgate tour stop in Sparta last night. I had a chance to ask him what's impressed him the most about his new head coach in the past 3 months.
But I know Matt. Matt really, he put a lot of thought and effort into, wanted to, there's the old saying, you only have one chance to make a first impression. And I think he really wanted to make a great first impression for the players, and he absolutely did.
Several UWL football players are also hoping to give a favorable first impression to the coaching staff. The Eagles opening spring practice this week, and as we first reported, Mike Schmidt taking over the play calling duties on offense after losing offensive coordinator Isaac Frichte. There will be no shortage of talent at the receiver position. The Eagles return 5 seniors at that position, including first-team all-conference selection Cole Speaker. That will come in handy for first-year starting quarterback Evan Lewandowski.
We feel really good about where they're at. There's a lot of stuff we can put on them early and then really push our quarterbacks to kind of catch up with the wideouts. A lot of those guys were around and have been around for a while now. So, you know, a lot of experience there, and we have a tremendous playmaker in Cole Speaker and another one in Dom Lebalarte. So two tremendous playmakers, two of the best we feel like in the league. And
UWL receivers accounted for 22 touchdown receptions last season. The Bucks are 16 wins away from their first NBA title in 48 years. They open the playoffs a Sunday night at 6 at the Pfizer Forum against the Pistons. Milwaukee and Detroit have met in the playoffs 4 times, and the Pistons have won all 4 series. But the Bucks are the huge favorite this time around, winning all 4 meetings by an average of 12.5 points this season. The Bucks have not won a playoff series in 18 years, and there are some who feel they have a lot to prove this postseason.
I mean, I got a point. We got put out the first round last year. We still got stuff to prove. We can't get caught up in that. We know what we got to do as a team, so we got to take care of business.
And stay with us. We'll take care of some business here and then check in with Scott in a moment.
Coming up tonight at 10, the results of the vote on the Lacrosse Center expansion project at City Hall. We hope to also have reaction for you tonight at 10. We hope to see you then.